report, and they were particularly talking about the machines that were used, that they need to change them before general election.
Yeah, first of all, we keenly watched the Anambra election, and we realized that the beavers had serious problems. But when INEC presented us in a committee, they were looking okay, and the machines were working well. We are surprised that the machine didn't work at Anambra's election, and that's why we said before we go to general election, let us try these machines in another smaller elections, which like the Anambra or the Ekiti State coming up. So we now saw it what happened in Anambra. Certainly the INEC already summoned them, and they started working on finding a solution so that we may not have problem by 2023 election, or even for the next governorship elections.
Will you suggest that it was sabotage, especially having played it before you and it was working well?
Well, I don't think sabotage comes in there because there is an electronic equipment. It might fail, but we already have provision for spares. If a machine fails, they bring a new one so that they can substitute. But when it's unfortunate, it happens. But it's even for the good of us that happened only for Anambra's election. So if it happens in general election, that would have been a serious catastrophe. But we're happy that we have seen the problems. And not everything in life, there are challenges. So this is part of the challenges INEC must face to get it through before the general election.
One of the problems the Commission faces is lack of proper funding at the time they're supposed to organize election. Are you looking at giving them money before the actual time for the election?
Well, I believe I have to commend President Buhari on this aspect. Initially, during elections, I found that funds for the election to INEC were not given until a few months to election. But this time, we specifically mentioned that some funding on the election must be provided with a year before the general election. And we're happy that at least in this budget, there's provision for partial release of funds to INEC, which is about 100 billion. And we are hoping that other funds will even go under appropriation so that this money can be transmitted now and allow INEC to now order for materials that include machines that can be manufactured. They need time to be manufactured. So I think we're happy for that. At least we're making progress, not unlike before. So this government is doing well.
Thank you.
The Electoral Act, sir, it has been passed. What is your expectation as far as presidency Assent?
I thought you would say congratulations to the National Assembly.
Yes, we have said so before.
For passing the Electoral Act, and I think it's based on the views of Nigerians. Amendments were made based on the request by Nigerians, and I believe that this act will be an act that will help in having free, fair, credible elections in this country. And I believe the other issues people are talking about, direct primaries, I think that's the general question. I believe direct primary is taking democracy to the grassroots. And that's what President Buhari always talked about, that send the democracy to the grassroots, where people who are current members of the party can decide who their aspirant would be. And we're happy with that, and we believe President Buhari will sign the bill very soon. I believe that within this week, the National Assembly will pass the bill to the presidency, and we expect the presidency will sign the bill by God's grace.
Thank you, distinguished.
Thank you very much.